basically the best player outside of Korea. And ever since, he's had his up and downs, but MaNa did tell me just now that he thought he's better than ever right now versus Zerg, but that doesn't necessarily make him, you know, crazy confident or anything going up against somebody like iAsonu. All right, here we are.
In the right bottom side of Cyber Forest, we're looking at the main base of the Chinese Zerg. It is iAsonu. Is he still representing Invictus Gaming? That loyalty, though.
And his opponent in the red, representing Team Liquid and Poland, it is MaNa.
iAsonu recently had a very strong showing in one of the Chinese tournaments where I think he defeated Special, but he definitely defeated Solar, and I think that's one hell of a victory in CVC. And I think he had a very good performance, or at least showing, against Innovation as well. So that is a very quick spawning pool, and that is a very quick extractor. Now, if I see this being done by anybody on the ladder with a slightly Eastern European name, I know I'm getting all in, okay? I don't know how it is with the Chinese Zergs.
What about if you see a French name and then you see?
Oh, I mean, that depends. Like, there is Shino and Hino. One of the two always all-ins me, and I can never keep them separated. But I know one is
and the other one macros, so
yeah,
if you get it wrong, you're dead.
No, absolutely. Wait, dude. I think that Hino is the macro guy, and Shino is the all-in. But
yeah.
I could confuse them. So if I'm MaNa here, I think, like, all memes aside, guys, I'd be pretty concerned. And that's why we probably see him go for the Cybercore before the Nexus as well. But if iAsonu goes for like a heavy link flood here, this could actually be very difficult to defend.
I like that he double checks also how much being mined from the gas, because he has scouted the extractor being made, but sometimes, you know, there's going to be mine games. Somebody could cancel that. They could only mine a little bit from it. So MaNa going for the second check here inside of the base, saw that, you know, a good amount of gas was being mined. He sees the 6 slings now.
Yep, but after this, you're kind of in the dark, right? Obviously, this probe would like to go back in one more time, but then you're also guaranteed to lose it, so he's not going to do that yet. But if you're MaNa right now, you got to worry a little bit about the Ling Roach haul-in. This is a very tiny map. There's a big possibility for it, and I think that's why MaNa is chrono boosting out the Zealot as well. He's going to queue up the Adept right behind it. You know, the Lings could potentially cancel this building here, right? Oh, MaNa! Okay, I don't like this start from MaNa. Man. He's lucky that he's not getting link flooded, but I don't like this start.
And iAsonu actually stopped mining gas behind it, so it's just going to be metabolic boost early on with the initial 6 slings, and he's actually going to drone up, and I wouldn't be surprised if he started the additional hatchery here on the natural. Let's see if those links can really achieve anything so far.
Yeah, he didn't actually. I'm surprised he didn't go all the way in, right? Like, I think 3 or 4 links would have been super annoying, because then, as a pros player, it's very hard to make the calls, like, should the Zealot chase the links? And if you do that, then the floodgates are wide open in case there would be more links behind.
I think he wanted to make sure he can shut down this Adept without having to remake links. So then he can focus on only making drones. So he stays home with all of these links. Ooh, actually, he's going to shade that forward. MaNa saw that no links were following him. Yep. If he can get like some drone snipes here, this would be pretty massive.
Even one drone and getting out of there in general is quite big, especially on Cyber Forest. And don't forget that iAsonu's opening was not the most economic opening out there, guys. That was a very quick gas.
He recalls for one Adept.
I don't hate it.
Hashtag worth?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you think about it, like, think about every chrono boost you have. Like, if every time you could choose between having a chrono boost or having an Adept, what would you rather have?
My chrono boost?
No, that is the wrong answer, damn it.
I think like by doing that, MaNa probably hoped.
You're
I was just trolling you. MaNa was probably hoping that there were way more links on the way, like in case there were going to be more Adepts on the way, like if you try and anticipate that, and then in which case, like if for sure, if like recalling is going to be way better, because then you're forcing units down. I'm not going to do anything because you're just getting out of there. But those walk across the map with the 2 Adepts here, that's keeping iAsonu's mind away from where the transition is going to be for now. We'll see. He's actually sending his Overlord in here. Ideally, you would like to spot that Dark Shrine, in which case you need to make sure you get those spores, like we've seen in the past. A couple Zergs not getting those spores on time. I don't want to throw anyone under the bus, but Stefano in Nation Wars didn't have his spore ready and lost everything.
That's years ago.
And lost the whole thing for France. No, just kidding. But he did lose that pretty hard.
Dark Shrine more than halfway done. You are making a very valid point here, though. It is important that iAsonu starts dropping these spores immediately, guys, because there's no lair yet. There is no lair, and that means that the only form of detection that he's going to have are these spore crawlers. That Prism is making its way to the other side of the map. I think they're going to be in time, and I think he's going to be okay. But I think for MaNa, it's obviously going to be about these 2 Adepts as well. Because often a Zerg player can be so focused on the Prism and the 2 Dark Templars that suddenly 2 Adepts can actually pick up 4 or 5 drone kills immediately. And that would be massive already as well.
Yeah, warping already towards the main base. Spore is being moved.
Oh, Queen is off grid.
Wish we could catch that. Because when
so
you have this many
risky.
queens nearby, like the War Prism is going to be in real danger. The War Prism already lost all of his shields.
Yeah, but look at the Dark Templars. This is actually a mistake by iAsonu. He's distracted by these Adepts, and that's why he just lost 2 queens immediately. I like the way MaNa's doing this. He's going for the Spore Chronotot, and he gets the Spore.
Oh my god, and the
He
lair.
can get the lair. He can get the lair.
He's going for drones instead. Okay, now he's going to turn for the lair, and I think he's going to get in on
That's
time before he
sick.
can complete,
Yep.
which will mean no Overseer. So Spore is going to try to move on the high ground, but that could get sniped.
He's going
very
to get a
quickly
couple of
immediately after.
additional Zealots in the mix here as well. Goodbye goes their lair, and that means no Overseers for a very, very long time. Sure, a Dark Templar went down, a couple Zealots went down, but the Chinese Zerg iAsonu is in a world of trouble. Those Adepts thought those Adepts were the MVP Adepts because they distracted iAsonu. It made the Queens go off creep. It allowed the Dark Templars to kill the Queens, and because of that, the Dark Templars just killed everything.
This is so smart by MaNa. He knows that the units are going to be focused towards the main base, and there is also 1 Spore less because he sniped one of the Spores. So he knows there is going to be a Spore missing somewhere, so he sends 1 single Dark Templar per base to do some damage. In the 3rd base, he's finding a little bit of damage. He's preventing mining. The one in the main base is attacking the Roach Warren, and I think he might be able to get it.
Yep.
Before iAsonu can go there and defend that.
It's kind of off creep as well, right? So
Yeah.
this Roach Warren was going to be in a little bit of trouble anyway. It's already bleeding. MaNa is having a field day here. He's floating a little bit of money, but he's going to be able to spend
He's going
it.
for the other lair.
Oh my god. Come on, MaNa. Stop it. He's just insulting the man at this point, Todd.
No, there is a Spore nearby.
Yeah, but he's just killing all the Zerglings. What do you think about that? And the Roach Warren has been taken out as well. Okay, at least we have a couple of Roaches here. Jeez Louise, look at these Dark Templars go. 21 drones have gone down. MaNa is just styling all over iAsonu at this point. Look at that Spore Chronotot. That Spore is exposed as well.
The Spore is asking to die, and Fear Dragon somewhere is asking where's the blink, but it does not need it. MaNa with a clean map #1 win here over the Chinese Zerg.
Yeah, that was total domination in the end. I mean, it's really funny because it looks like yeah, he was loving it. I mean, that's the kind of game that us Dirty Protoss players will truly enjoy.
My face when DTs were the only unit I needed.
No,
It's a little smirk.
it feels good for MaNa as well to get a victory like that. It's like at one point you're just showing off, you know. You're just picking up Dark Templars, just killing everything with a couple of DTs. He's like, I was just looking for some light pressure. I ended up killing 2 bases and 22 drones. But it's really the Adepts that make this all so powerful. Because if iAsonu can just purely focus on his defense, this never happens, Todd. Those Queens don't go off creep, and they will not die like the way that they did. It's just the Adepts were the distraction maneuver, and it allowed the Dark Templars to shine.
Fixing iAsonu's computer took longer than for those DTs in numbers to kill everything that he had.
Hopefully for iAsonu, he can keep it together.
Yeah, that's a sad way to start a series.
Yeah.
Like, staying focused after this also. Like, he got picked apart. That Spore just move in position. Like,
But it's kind of unfair,
even
right?
he started with the Queens too. Like, even before that, he was in a bit of trouble. I think without the Queens taking so much damage, it would have been easier for him to focus on the Adept defense while having enough in the main base. So even that, overextending against the Prism, that was a big deal.
Yep, incredibly well played by MaNa. Of course, a sloppy game by iAsonu, but it's important for iAsonu to just stay calm now, forget about it, and focus on game 2. I want to talk to you guys a little bit about the knockout bracket. We are looking at a couple of very interesting runs in the lower bracket, and I do really want to give a shout out, Todd, to our boy Eric from Brazil. He's actually won 4 series in a row, 4 ZVZ series. In round 1 of the lower bracket, he beat B. Now, a lot of people may not know B, but B is like a 6.2k Russian Zerg player who I think is very strong.
Yeah.
In the second round, he beat Pingwing. Of course, we expect Eric to beat Pingwing. With all due respect, Pingwing is a lot more focused on management and stuff like that. But then Eric from Brazil also took out Stefano.
Yeah.
And then he took out, who was the 4th one again?
Snoot.
Snoot. I mean, geez Louise, Todd, what a run by Eric. That is actually very, very impressive. So really cool to see the Brazilian Zerg shine like that in the KO bracket.
He's going to get the player. I'll do the math. Yeah, you intro the players.
Alrighty. We're taking a look at the second map here on the left top side. We're looking at the main base of a Chinese Zerg. Let's see if we can have a better game 2. It is iAsonu.
His opponent in the red, playing double gas here pretty early on, and playing Protoss. It is MaNa.
You know,
So Eric will play next the 4th place finisher from Group E, which has Future, TLO, Neeb, and Clem. He's probably cheering for TLO, considering how well he's doing in ZVZ.
yeah, but TLO already won against Neeb. That was one of the biggest upsets I think I've seen so far in this tournament. Neeb, guys, 2-0'd, TLO 2-0'd Neeb. And that's really bizarre as well because previous history, Neeb was 14-0 in series against TLO.
That was a funny tweet.
Yep, TLO obviously made a tweet and he's like, let this be a lesson to everybody out there. Nobody beats Dario Wunsch 15 times in a row. You know, you got to be consistent, you're going to be persistent. Eventually, you get your victory. So yeah, that means that the winners match in that group is actually Future against TLO. And the lower bracket match, so the loser of that series will play Eric. It's going to be Clem versus Neeb.
Yeah, that group was stacked.
Yeah.
One of my favorites for sure. All right, MaNa opening with the Stargates this time around. Like, you know what? DT's worked well, but let's have some more fun. Let's play a little bit differently here.
You know, I would have really loved to see as iAsonu go for the all-in in the first map dot. If you take such a fast gas, if you make your first link so quickly...
Yeah, with what, roaches?
I would have just gone for a link flood. If you see the way that MaNa didn't even really respect it. He didn't go for the wall off immediately. He's like, yeah, we'll let a couple links go in.
We see the whole map, though.
Yeah, but if he keeps rallying links, I don't really see it. Like, MaNa would be forced to pull probes, and it gets at least, I think, very, very awkward. He had such a fast link speed, and he just didn't do anything with it. And at that point, you're already kind of crippling your own economy.
But I think that's also because we saw him get in the wall, which wasn't always going to happen, right? He could have made the building on time.
I don't know. I just
the
like
floodgates could have been open, like you said. When the first 6 links make it in, like these guys are going to be very hard to kill. You have to go all the way back. And then
the moment link
but he would have had to decide before he knew if that was going to happen. That's the thing, though.
Yeah, but I need Cyber Forest, though. I mean, like on Cyber Forest, if your opponent pylon blocks you, sure. Trust me, man. If you pylon block any Eastern European Zerg, you're going to get all in. You deserve it, straight up. It's like, you know what? He's right. I do deserve it. Like, I pylon block the man.
He's MMR.
I've got nothing to say. All right, it's an Oracle opening here out of MaNa, who's obviously on the Cloud9. That is a much faster lair this game, Todd, but the Spore Crawlers are not done yet. I don't think iAsonu has really seen anything. I don't think he's much... Oh my goodness, Todd. He has no Spore Crawlers at all. This Oracle...
Yeah, and one single... Okay, no, there's a second queen making it there.
Yeah, but still, it's going to be a couple of dead drones most likely. And a little bit of lost mining time as well. Good reaction, though, there by iAsonu, putting the drones away. So only 2 drones going down, considering the fact that he didn't have a Spore. I think that's pretty acceptable.
If he had the one queen, that would have been like 8 drones plus, dying instantly. So second Oracle now out. Ooh, actually the Stalker. There was a magnet. Okay, no, he goes back.
Yeah.
Stalker gonna do a little bit of clean, push that away, but he's probably gonna need either a Phoenix or a Void Ray to kill that. And we had a pretty quick Robo behind this, and Twilight Council. Are we thinking more aggression with a Glaives and a Prism, or?
I don't know. I'm actually more curious to see what iAsonu is gonna do, because he had such a quick lair, right? So I kind of wonder if he wants to get a few more drones out, and then maybe we might see a Nidus network, because he's getting extra queens now as well. I'm expecting him to drop either a Roach Barn or at least something. I mean, it's just more and more drones for now.
MaNa starts charge immediately, and as he's adding more gates, he's going to go up to 4. So I think maybe some charge load Archon action across the map. Oh my god, these queens are on the hunt.
Yeah, that's a lot of queens, though. And now we do have that Roach Warren going down as well, so iAsonu maybe going up to 50 drones, and there is indeed the Nidus network. So I think it makes sense. It's very important for MaNa that he scouts this, because MaNa doesn't have to be aggressive, right? If iAsonu is going to be the aggressor here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Roach Nidus makes sense. He's most likely waiting for MaNa to go up to 3 bases. And then I think the first Nidus is going to be like outside of the main, but then I think he's going to try a second Nidus network inside of the main of MaNa.
Yeah.
But I don't think the first one should be in the main, because then it's too obvious and it's too
easy. And it's a tricky location, that wall to defend, because you have everything behind. A lot of the units they can't hit from that far, especially if he's going for Archons, and they're going to be trapped on that side of the wall. The counter-attack, though, going to be tricky.
He goes for the first one in the main base. I mean, it's kind of a Hail Mary play. So far, MaNa is not reacting. Okay, he's recalling. And this is why I don't like it, though, because I think the first Nidus is always the most important one. Links do get into the natural, so that's actually kind of nice. The Queens are going to try to save it, and they do transfuse that Nidus network. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, the last second here, just before he was going to die, Links help come to the rescue as well. He keeps on saving it every single time, and all of those queens, it's going to be so hard to get rid of them here. He needs to warp in High Templars, maybe feed back some of the queens, transfer them into some Archons. If MaNa can buy a little bit of time and get enough Zealots and Archons here, it's going to be okay, but more Links are going to come in, more Niduses. It's a full-on invasion rather than.
Where are the Roaches, though? I mean, this has been nothing but queens for the longest time and a couple of Links. I mean, the Niduses were technically successful, but look at the money of iAsonu. He had 700 minerals in the bank. You cannot do all-ins with 700 minerals in the bank. These Archons are getting some fantastic shots off on these queens and Links. And I mean, iAsonu's macro thought, it simply wasn't on point. You cannot go for a Nidus all-in with like 700-800 minerals. Do you know how many roaches that is? 87. Or close to it. They're very cheap, okay?
Yeah, I thought 140. And I mean, if you bring all of those queens across the map to fight with them, they are not back at home to inject. I think that was the big problem here.
Yeah,
Look at MaNa, he's not even looking at the Nidus. He's like, I'll focus on my minerals.
He's like, whack-a-mole, I love this game. It's like one of my favorites. I was super good at this in high school. This is how he impressed all the Polish ladies when I was young, Todd. He got the high school.
MaNa on the counter attack now. Can iAsonu hold on? He finally got the roaches. Yeah, sure. Only 6 Niduses too late, buddy.
I know, that's just kind of a shame. I mean, iAsonu still has a minor worker lead. I mean, he's up 10 workers, which is really not that bad. Of course, there could always be another Nidus. I mean, army-wise right now, guys, if MaNa would grab all of his units, iAsonu would be in a world of trouble. But maybe the Chinese Zerg can just drag this game out a little bit longer, can get a couple of mutas out, and then there is still some hope. But I'd be lying to you guys if I would say that this is looking good for iAsonu, because it's absolutely not.
Yeah, I think maybe MaNa was worried about a counter Nidus here if he left his base. And I think, wait, he just used recall again, or? Because I see the cooldown here, just kind of restarted, so he must... I think, yeah, he recalled something.
Maybe he recalled an Immortal into the main base.
Yeah, you need to make sure you have recall anywhere, like whenever you move out, because otherwise a counter Nidus could make a disaster happen on your side of the map.
Look at this army. iAsonu's got nothing. And even if he warps in a couple of... or excuse me, if he morphs in a couple of Mutalisks, like there's quite a few Archons in the mix. 4 Archons and a Prism, you're going to need a lot of
Archons in the main
Mutas.
base doing some attack here.
Yeah.
As 21 Zealots are marching across the map to absolutely slice down this 4th hatchery.
This makes me think of a ZVZ where one Zerg has like 1,000,000 roaches and the other Zerg is like, I'm going to get some Mutas out. And then like eventually they do get Mutas out, but they lose like 3 bases, right? These Zealots are basically the roaches right now. iAsonu is still trying to buy some time with another Nidus, but this one Immortal is going to turn around. Might be, MaNa might need to warp in a couple of Zealots. He's supply blocked. He's supply blocked.
And the Immortal can shoot from... Get in here!
Yeah.
Wake up.
I mean, the thing is, like, how bad is this Nidus going to be?
If you can start on killing a lot of probes, that's how you ignite a comeback here. MaNa's walking on the way back.
Yeah.
He didn't have recall. Recall's not ready yet.
He's got a Warp Prism though, and a Shield Battery. I honestly think
roaches are in the main base. If MaNa loses like 30 probes here.
Okay, if the Warp Prism goes down here, the Mutas dive on that Prism. That's very nice. First Archon goes down as well.
And that Immortal is blocking everybody. Let them in.
Oh my god, you're kidding me, Todd.
Roaches killing probes left and right. Already 16 have fallen.
Hey, because the Prism went down, I don't think the Archons cannot get into the main base. There is no anti-air. There is nothing to deal with these Mutas.
Trying to get a Phoenix. I mean, yeah.
Oh my
gonna warp in Stalkers right under the Mutas?
Well, Todd, I ask you, how bad is it that this Nidus goes up? The answer is very, very
pretty bad. If you don't have recall, like I said, he moved out.
Oh my
Keep in mind the 3rd base completely exposed at the same time. The counter attack from MaNa looking pretty scary. Let's see if there is enough roaches on the other side of the map from iAsonu to hold on. One more Nidus going down. These roaches unstoppable right now with the support of the Mutalisks. It's going to be for the counter-attack of MaNa to do a lot here as well. Look at the supply, Rotti.
Yeah, he could just bring the roaches back. iAsonu completely turning this game around. MaNa was supply blocked out. Obviously, it was really sad to see that Immortal not attacking, but MaNa could have warped in a couple of Zealots. I mean, I was like, how much damage this Knight is really going to do? Game-ending damage, Roddy. Well done, iAsonu. Oh my goodness. Because he was
blame the Immortal that thought he could shoot from behind the wall, and he couldn't.
But you know what I love the most, I thought? In the end, that he dives on that Warp Prism immediately.
Yeah.
Sure, the Prism was beat up a little bit already, but sniping that Prism allowed him to snipe the 2 Archons that were on the right side of the wall, and the other Archons, they couldn't enter. And like you said, there was no recall available, and then suddenly these Mutas, I mean, MaNa should have never go home with his entire army, man. Like, I think if he just clicks on all the buildings with iAsonu, I think he wins that game easily. He was up 40, 50 army supply. That's crazy in PvZ. But well done by iAsonu. Man, I'm very, very impressed at that. Never give up, never surrender.
The one way he could come back, I think. Like, he was so far behind other than that.
You know, if at first you don't succeed, try again. That went for the Nidus networks in this game. I think we had 16 relatively unsuccessful Nidus networks, but the 17th, that one won the game. And if MaNa's not supply blocked there, he warps in 3 Zealots, I think he's totally fine.
Yeah.
That's crazy. What a game by iAsonu.
Insane game. Between these two, I thought it was just going to be a 2-0 at some point, but nope. iAsonu is like, I'm still alive. I'm still here.
Do you think MaNa is going to be slightly upset after that game, or do you think he's a veteran enough that he will stay calm here and it shouldn't bother him too much?
Well, I know I'd be on live tilt, but I don't know about MaNa.
I would be very upset if I'm like that, especially group stage 3, right? This is obviously always going to be very tough. I don't think we spoke too much about the other 2 players in this group.
It's,
So and Masa. So 2 very strong Terrans, especially Sol, of course, really building up a reputation in the European scene to be one of those top players.
Yeah, Solo actually already won against Massa,
Yeah.
so the winner here plays against him.
Yeah, so it's a pretty big match, because if you lose, Massa is a very tough opponent in the lower bracket already. Anyway, we'll see what Game 3 has in store for us in the left bottom side. We're looking at the main base of the man who just completed a remarkable comeback. It is iAsonu.
His opponent, he's going to have to stay composed here in this final map of this best of 3. It is Liquid's MaNa.
How often do you see a Zerg still win a game when they're down like 45, 50 army supply? There were more like Zealots on the map than there were Roaches.
Yeah,
Backed up by
there was
Immortals.
15 Roaches and 21 Zealots.
Yeah, and then on top of that there were like 3-4 Immortals, right? 4 Archons on the map as well.
But the Mutas are really the trap card right now of the Zergs. Like the Mutas, they change kind of like the whole matchup. If they weren't there in the mid game, every game would be like super straightforward. But because they are there, you need to, I guess, look out for them, get the proper defense, and they can be a big game changer. They have like so much potential to just fly from middle line to middle line, kill workers, and in this case, they just gave so much support to the Roaches and killing the Prism, like you said. The Archons couldn't reach inside of the wall. Maybe you should have killed one of his gates, but even then, like just everything was being blocked around the wall.
This is a pretty crazy opening by MaNa. Did you see what time the extractor went down, Todd? Like, that's very important to me. He's been mining of it for quite some time. So I guess it was kind of early, but not super early. I wonder what prompted MaNa to go for the double gate here. Like, sure, he got like the pylon block off, and I think he might be a tiny bit worried about all-ins, but he shouldn't be super worried.
He saw the hatchery go down on the older location. Maybe he just wants to play extra safe.
Yeah.
Even in game number 1, iAsonu didn't play for Link Flood, with the Link Flood, but he got in with the Links. And that must have crossed MaNa's mind at that point, that maybe he was going to play aggressive. So maybe he thought, like, in game 3, there is a chance he plays a bit more aggressive. Maybe a safe thing that I can do against it is open double gateway myself, get some adepts across the map, and
can we take a look at
start doing some
iAsonu's
damage.
gas? Does he have like 1 probe or one? Okay, just 1 drone on the gas, but that's a lot of Zerglings, Todd. That is way more links than before. The thing is, double gate is very good, but if your adepts are way out of position, things can actually still get a little bit dicey, right?
And there's the Zealot already across the map.
I'm so confused about this opening of MaNa.
He's trying to force, I think, a lot of links and then maybe recall.
He's absolutely doing that, but yeah, I'm just like, you're forcing out units that are going to kill your units.
Careful what you wish for.
Because you just might get it. And in this case, it's apparently a lot of Zerglings. Now, Zergling speed is not done yet, and there is always a lot of potential.
Whoa, Zealot.
Yeah, Zealot is
sacrificing that?
Yeah, I think it's okay. The Adepts are the real game changer here, but look at iAsonu. Still building nothing but links. MaNa cancels the shade. He wants to get a couple drones here, Todd, and he's going to get at least a few drones, so I guess it worked out so far.
Yeah, he kind of catches him off guard here. The units were not quite ready yet. And he sees the links coming.
What was that?
They're outside of his base. Does
Oh,
he
what?
recall? I think he's going to try to just shade away.
What made it into the main base? Links? Opened up. Yeah, a couple links went.
Yeah.
All right, link speed is done. Where are those adepts? There is a Stalker. No shield battery, by the way, but I guess with 2 adepts behind the Stalker, you're going to be okay here.
And peace. Yep. We're home.
Pretty feisty opening out of here from MaNa, right? I think he controlled that very well. Like, obviously, the Zealot doesn't have that much micro
Killing 3
potential
drones
anyway.
is pretty massive because he forced so many links next to it.
Absolutely.
So that translates into a walker count where he's at 29 against 26 right now.
What? And now he's going to follow it up with another wave of adepts. This time he's got 4. He's queuing up Resonating Glaives as well. This is very early. We're going to get some extra gateways. I am loving this build from MaNa. I think it's a bit weird. I think it's a bit crazy. It's a bit out there. But I'm loving it, Todd.
It feels like he wants retribution for all those Niduses that he feels shouldn't have worked.
Okay,
It's like you threw 17 waves of Niduses at me, I'm going to throw
mate.
17 waves of Adepts at you.
He's going to bring all the adepts back. Maybe we'll get him back in time. I find it so crazy how these pros, they delay shield batteries at all cost, right?
Yeah.
I'm always like, I see 2 links, I'm like, I definitely need a battery here. And these guys, the Stalker is like running low on HP. They see a whole bunch of Zerglings, like, yeah, I'm fine here. Hearthstone Scouts on Oracle and PvP, and he's like, yeah, let me cancel the battery. I'm like, what? I mean, like, I get it, but it's so crazy to me.
Yeah. They know the timing so perfectly. Oh, gets the Overlord here.
That is so confident in their ability to defend a lot of these aggressions. I'm like, no, I really don't need it here. And if I do see something else, then I might need it, and I'll still get it in time. I'll just be like, oh my goodness, I need a battery here immediately. So 3 more adepts. The Roach Warren is built. iAsonu's only at 32 workers, by the way, Todd. What is going on there?
Well, he had to make a ton of links, and he lost some drones in the start. And I think now he knows that this is coming, so he's getting a ton of links.
No battery.
He lost patience. Instead of going for roaches, he made a ton of links first.
Yeah, he's getting a couple of roaches as well. This is going to get very wild. I think that these links, good job there. And the depths with Resident Glaives behind it, they're going to be more than fine. These queens are very exposed. It's really important for iAsonu that he keeps his queens alive because he needs to buy time for these roaches. That's so many links.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I think the adepts are more than fine here, though. If the adepts can take fights against the links when the queens and roaches are not there, they will always win, Todd.
And queens are dying left and right. There's going to be less injects. There's no injecting any of the hatcheries right now. The production of iAsonu is going to be weakened so much. He's going to start on losing drones. And on the other side, MaNa is mining as much as he wants to. He's getting a prism. Could easily go into Immortals.
I think MaNa has done this very, very well. I'd like to see him maybe leave like a couple of depths here behind in the main base. Indeed, he just keeps all of them alive. That's more lost mining time. That's a few more drones going down. And yeah, MaNa's floating a little bit of money, but he is doing absolutely ridiculous amounts of damage. He's going to get maybe one more here. Uno más. Yep, he gets one more.
Wow, and he gets 9 drones here in total. 26 drones to 44 probes. MaNa's saying, you wanted to play aggressive with me? Here you are.
iAsonu just had so many units all along, but never enough units to kill MaNa, but absolutely enough units to cripple his own economy, right? And it really feels like that MaNa kind of forced this out of iAsonu from the beginning till the end, and iAsonu just made a few too many units at the wrong moment, and then he made a lot of links. And if there's one unit you don't want against Resident Glaives Adaptstad, it's Zerglings.
He elevated everything outside of the wall, and it's just going to be a single Immortal with a ton of adepts, some sentries for force fields. Massive attack. I think iAsonu, he must know. No, he doesn't know this is coming because he's still getting drones. He needs to get a ton of Ravagers right now. That's his best shot against these force fields. And just units. Press.
Of which gas though, Todd? He's got 40 gas in the back.
Yeah.
He's got nothing.
This is bad.
I do like the counterattack. That's like the one thing that you can hope for. Maybe force out a couple of defensive warp in. Just spot on though. He needs those Ravagers, but he simply doesn't have the money for it. He lost so many drones throughout this game. He made so many links that just didn't really have the impact that he was hoping for. The counterattack, it may get something done, but I think MaNa learned from his mistake in the previous game. This time, Todd, he's not going home. He's like, I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving. He's staying at the side of Zerg.
They're going to have to send in the National Guard.
Yes, they're going to have to send in Broodlord Infested to get me out of here. GG. MaNa will get the victory in the end in a pretty funny PvZ series where I'm sure that he's not super happy with how Game 2 played out, but I think overall, Todd, he did look like the better player to me.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, that's all that matters. Winning the one series, even though we dropped the map here. That means we're going to have an all Polish clash in the winners match of this group with MaNa going up against Seoul, whereas iAsonu will face Masa.
You know why I like that as well? Because Seoul in the past has struggled a lot at these big international events, but I feel like Seoul should feel really comfortable and familiar with MaNa, right? Because obviously they're from the same country, they've played a lot against each other in the past already, so I think that's going to be one hell of a winners match that I would absolutely love to see. For now, I guess we are almost ready to hear from MaNa, who's been playing really well so far, and yeah, I think he's ready.